Welcome back. You've got the herd coming at you as soon as we wrap Undisputed. Good morning, Colin. What's on tap?
Oh, do the New York Jets have a quarterback? Getting very tasty with Aaron Rodgers. We'll give you the very latest. And is Tom Brady coming back? Another report on that next.
Scintillating rumors. All right, the NBA rescinded Giannis's final rebound against the Wizards. That erased his triple-double. Giannis intentionally missed a shot with seconds left in the game in order to give himself 10 rebounds. He knew he was a board away from that triple-double. Shannon, what are your thoughts on this?
It should have been rescinded. And I feel really good about it because I campaigned for it, Skip. So now I feel very comfortable in my future that I can become a political campaign advisor for some politician. So I feel good because this is what it should have been. He violated the spirit of Skip. There was no attempt. There was no attempt to get to make that shot. And so he violated the rule. And I mentioned Bobby Sura, and I remember, if I'm not mistaken, David Stern, they took one of his away for doing the exact same thing.
They did. So you called for it, I co-signed, and Adam Silver must watch Undisputed because he was very influenced by you. So does this mean Giannis is now disqualified from MVP, so it's Joel Embiid is now the MVP, right?
You already know, Yo. You see what Yo did last night down the stretch?
And unfortunately, we're out of time. You can pick it back up tomorrow morning, guys. That's it for Undisputed. The Herd's next. According to a report from Shams, the Memphis Grizzlies had a players-only meeting just a little while before Ja Morant flashed a gun on Instagram Live. Steven Adams, a normally pretty quiet guy, reportedly felt compelled to talk to the team about needing to show better discipline on road trips and avoid going out and partying. Then yesterday, local police in Colorado confirmed, yes, they are investigating Morant's incident and if he broke any gun laws. NBA champion and three-time All-Star Antoine Walker is joining us now. We certainly appreciate your time, Antoine. What's your view of what's going on with Ja right now?
It's actually very sad and disappointing. I had a situation earlier in 2007 where I got into a situation where I had a home invasion and got, 3 men came in my home and put guns on me and robbed me for my jewelry. And I wanted to retaliate. I wanted to do things that, obviously when somebody comes in your home, but I decided when they got the police involved and obviously the police caught them, but I had to show up and testify against those guys. And that it's tough because as athletes, you want to be able to go out and do certain things, but you got to watch where you go. And I was one of those guys that thought that I can go anywhere in the city of Chicago and don't need nobody with me. And it turned out to cost me in a situation where I got robbed and put my life in danger. And, my kids see my kids come in and see me, getting duct tape off me and being all over the news was something that I never wanted to experience again in my life. So I try to make sure that I stay around good people and make right decisions.
Antoine, was it the way you carried yourself? Did you flash? Were you outgoing? Did you have your jewelry out? Were you in places and showing a lot of money? Because, a lot of times, people, look, athletes have a lot of us, we have great lives, make a lot of money. We're able to go places and do things that a lot of people are not able to do. And some people take that if you every time you go to the bar and you get a drink and you pull out $100 bill and you got a roll of them, or you got your jewelry and you coming out in cars, people like you thumbing your nose at us. Okay, we're going to show you something. Were you that type of person?
I don't wear multiple chains or things of that nature, but I did have a really nice watch on, whether it was a Rolex. I did have a diamond chain. And I ran with 5 or 6 guys when I went out. So I had a crew with me that I went out, and we enjoyed the finer things in nightlife. We would get tables and buy bottles. So we would portray that obviously we look like we got a lot of money and we spending a lot of money. But as athletes, you got credit cards. You're paying with credit. You may not have cash on you, but the outside looking in, they think you walking around with $20, $30, $40, and $50,000 on you. So you become a target immediately, especially when you're out in public, especially at nightclubs and things of that nature.
So, Antoine, you grew up in the Chicago area, went to Mount Carmel High School with Donovan McNabb. How hard was it for you to leave behind some of the guys that you grew up with who wouldn't have been good for you when you went on to Kentucky and win a championship and then went on to play in the NBA?
Oh, it was super hard, and I struggled to try to weed out who's the good friends and the bad friends, and it was something that I dealt with even today. And I'm not, an active NBA player and making millions of dollars, but it's still always tough to who you want around you, because you want to take people for face value, but everybody don't have great intentions of being around you. So it was difficult. Did I make the right decisions all the time? No. I mean, that's the reason why I got robbed in 2007, because I didn't make the right decisions and didn't have necessarily the right people around me all the time. So it's tough. We got this little saying, and Shannon can understand, we want to keep it real. Everybody wants to keep it real. It's tough to keep it real, because sometimes people want to allow you to do that. But you do that to try to stay out of harm's way. But sometimes it still happens, and it happened to me.
Antoine, if you could sit Ja down and you could talk to him, what was some of the advice that you would give Ja?
The first thing I would tell him is, one, get off IG. Let's get off IG. Let's completely get off social media. If you're gonna use social media, use it for something positive. Let's stop promoting things that we're doing in our life. It's tough because you are a target. You are somebody that young kids look at and people are watching, and it's rough out here. And then you may have to figure out every time you decide to go out into public, you got to figure out where you're going. Is it safe for me to go? Am I going to be able to get home safe? And if you gotta take a security guard and 5 or 6, 7 guys with you, it's probably a place that you probably shouldn't go. And that's a tough decision, because you want to go out and enjoy yourself, but you're a superstar now, and you have to pick and choose your spots. And that was something that I struggled with. I had a crew, a posse of different people that I hung out with, that I traveled with, and I struggled sometimes picking places that I need to be at, because I am a neighborhood guy. I grew up in a neighborhood. I was one of those guys that want everybody in the neighborhood to love me and appreciate me, but sometimes the people that don't have those right intentions for you, you got to figure that out. So I think if I'm Ja, you got to tone it down a little bit. You got to really stay off social media. Social media should be for fun, or you're promoting a real brand or a product that you're involved in. But it shouldn't be for your fun and your fun part of your life and what you're doing for fun, because people shouldn't know what you do for entertainment. They should have to guess and wonder what you like to do.
So, Antoine, how many of your crew were guys you grew up with in the neighborhood as you got on into college and pro basketball?
Oh, I probably ran with Skip. I ran with probably 7, 8 guys. In the summertime, I would say. During the season, no.
Yeah.
Just 2 or 3 guys. But during the summertime, yeah, I would travel with 7, 8 guys, and we would go to different cities and party and have a great time. So I understand when guys do that, because you have this mentality. If you make it, you want your guys and your family to make it. And I wanted them to enjoy the fruits of my labor just like I did. I wanted to show them a good time, show them the world. I don't take that part back. But some of the decisions and some of the situations that I put myself in was not smart, but I was young. But I think that's something that, and I always say this, that the NBA needs to talk to the young players about. There should be somebody in front of them explaining to them of the world that they're about to get into.
Yeah. So gut feeling, how do you think this turns out for Ja?
I like the fact that Ja's father's down there. I don't know them personally. So I just think when you have a father figure there, I think they'll understand that. When he understands